slams her door. She's pissed. I kid you not, these girls were gonna like dive in front of my car to try to stop it. And all of a sudden these chicks just start like falling over and like flopping like a fish. What has my life come to? Oh man, this couldn't get any worse. Oh, was I wrong? I got catfished, and when I say it was bad, that's a total understatement. It's a crazy story, so I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's get right into it. So at the time, I actually had a girlfriend, and I'd been trying to break up with her a few times, but she'd always just tell me no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? Like, we're breaking up. But she kind of pulled that I can't live without you card. And I kind of felt bad for her, so I was kind of sticking with it. But finally, I told her like, yo, I've had enough. She still thought we were dating, but I did try to break it off. So you can't be too mad at me for this. But then I decided to hop on Tinder, right? I'm like, well, at least I could start dating other girls, like start looking, seeing what's out there. So I download Tinder, and I'm at work the first day I get it, and I'm scrolling. All of a sudden, I match with this 9.5 out of 10. Easily the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, right? And so I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's just start messaging like a bunch of girls on there. Didn't think much of it, but this girl was like, hey, I'm actually down at my friend's place in college. You should bring a friend and come hang out with us tonight. And so I look where she was at. She was like 35 minutes away. And so I'm like, yo, this could be perfect. This girl's so beautiful. I need a chance to go get away from my girlfriend, move on, get a good reason to tell her like, hey, I'm gonna go date this other girl. I've tried to break it off with you, but we're done. So I text her, of course, and I'm like, yo, what does your friend look like? Because if I'm gonna bring a friend, I gotta decide who to bring, because if her friend's hot, I'll hit up one of my friends who can pull. But if her friend's terrible, I might have to look for a different friend, you know what I'm saying? So she sends me a picture of her friend, and her friend was also like a 9 out of 10, just absolutely beautiful. So I decided to call up my cousin Nick, and I was like, bro, I have the 2 hottest girls ever. They're really down to hang out tonight. Like, whatever you're doing right now, I don't care. You're definitely coming with me. Let's go. He was actually with a girl on a date at that moment that he'd been talking to for a long time too. I'm pretty sure she heard the conversation and everything. I'm like, bro, I really don't care if you like this chick. You guys aren't official. This girl is literally the hottest girl I've ever seen. You gotta come with. So he's like, hey, send me a picture and then I'll decide. So I send him a picture of the friend, and instantly he just leaves that girl. He's like, yo, I'm in. This girl's so hot. So this is where it gets really interesting. I decided to pull up to my girlfriend at the time, kind of, I guess, to pull up to her house and let her know like, hey, we're officially done. I've tried to break this off so many times. I have a date set up. I'm gonna go hang out with another girl right now. So I pull up to her house, and I hadn't texted her all day, so she was like panicking, freaking out, and I text her. I'm like, yo, we need to talk. Like, you need to come out. So she comes out and she's like, hey, how's it going? Like, trying to act overly happy, like hoping I'm not gonna do anything, but you could tell like she was nervous. And I'm like, I've tried breaking it off with you like 4 or 5 times, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going on a date with another girl. Like, we're officially over. I'm leaving for the date right now. Oh, this girl freaks out. You should have seen her reaction. She was like, you can't do that. Like, we're together. We're dating. Yeah, no, like, that's why I'm telling you, because like we were dating, but not anymore. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. She's like freaking out, like, no, we're together. You can't do that when you're with me. I'm like, we're not together. Like, how many times do I have to try to break this off, right? So I told her, I'm like, yo, I'm leaving on this date right now. Doesn't matter what you say, like, we're done. I already have the date planned. I'm leaving right now. So she freaks out. She goes running out of my car, stomping off. She's like, okay, I guess we're done for good, and like slams my door. Starts marching off. Like, you could see the emotion in her. As soon as she gets to the house, she goes and slams her door. She's pissed, right? But I'm like, ah, sigh of relief. I finally made the decision to cut this off. So then I call my cousin. I'm like, hey, you ready to go? He's like, yeah, come pick me up. I'm not lying when I tell you this story just gets crazier and crazier. This is only the beginning. It hasn't even got too wild yet. So I go pick him up, and this girl's name was Caitlin that I'm gonna go meet up with, and she was like, yeah, we're at this apartment building. It's like on campus student living. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. So we decided to pull up, and you know, me and my cousin, we're pretty nervous. I mean, I usually wouldn't get nervous with girls. I had a decent amount of experience at this time, but when it's a girl this hot, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, this girl's perfect. I hope I don't just like freeze up around her. We're sitting in the car, we're like hyping each other up. We're like, yo, let's go, bro. Like, we got this shit. Playing some sick music, you know? So I text her and I'm like, hey, we're outside. We're in the parking lot. And she calls me and she's like, okay, just come downstairs. We'll take the elevator down and we'll meet up with you guys. So I'm like, oh, okay, no worries. So we get out and we start walking in, and there's quite a few people there. Like, this is a big dorm. There's a lot of students there. So there's just like girls walking by everywhere, a couple guys that live there as well. But all of a sudden, like, these 2 random girls come up and they're like, yo, Brayden. I'm like, do I know you? Like, I was so confused. This girl acted like she knew me forever, and she's like, yeah, it's Caitlin. I'm like, Caitlin who? And she's like, we were literally just on the phone, and it hit me. Oh my god, man. Okay, I'm telling you, the girl in the photo was like a 9.5 or a 10. I wish I still had the photo to throw it up, but imagine like Livy Dunn invites you to hang out, And then all of a sudden you pull up and the chick's like a 4 out of 10, maybe a 5 out of 10 best, but it was just not what I was expecting. And so I'm like, and I literally just was speechless. I didn't even know what to say. I'm like looking at my cousin. I'm like, yo, are you seeing this too, bro? Like, oh, it's so bad. And her friend was even worse than her. Like, they both catfished so hard. Just, I think they used some face things to like change their face in photos. I don't know. A ton of makeup, ton of filters. It was not the same girls we decided to meet up with. And so I'm like, okay. And so they're like, yo, let's go in the elevator. We'll go upstairs. And so me and my cousin, we didn't really know what to do. So we're like, okay, let's just go in the elevator with them. So we go in. And I thought it was bad at this point, okay? I'm like, this couldn't get any worse. Oh, was I wrong? So we get in the elevator, and all of a sudden these chicks just start like falling over and like flopping like a fish. And they're like, oh my God, we're so drunk right now. We can't even stand up. And they're flopping around. I'm just getting so angry. Like, if you were to just see my expression, I'm just like, what has my life come to? I literally dumped my girlfriend. My cousin dipped on his girl. We go to meet up with them. Not only are they like 4 out of 10s instead of 9s, but now they're telling us that they're just blacked out drunk and we're sober in there. So I'm like, yeah, there's no way any of this is happening. And so like they could kind of tell we were being weird about it. I think they had to have known they were the biggest catfishes. So they were like trying to just keep luring us in to hang out with them. Maybe we'd feel bad when we showed up. I don't know. I was not feeling bad for these chicks. So we go up and we walk out the door and the elevator's like in this hall, right? So we go out the door and you turn the corner and then you turn again to go down the hall. As soon as we turn, I grab my cousin, I pull him back in the elevator and just start spamming the close button. I kid you not, these wasted girls come like sprinting back. They literally like laid out trying to block the elevator door from closing. It barely closes. It was like everything was happening in slow motion. The doors are closing, chicks running back like, wait, reaching in. Boom. Thank God it closed. So I'm just spamming the down. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. We start going down. I'm thinking like these girls are going to run down the stairs, try to meet us down there. Like these chicks are crazy, right? And so we get down to the bottom. We run out to my car. We start it and we start flying out of the parking lot. Literally right when we're leaving, okay? We drive right by the front. We're flying. These girls literally come sprinting at my car to the road. I kid you not. These girls were going to like dive in front of my car to try to stop it. Luckily, I had a little bit of an advantage on them and I was past them. So I go flying out of there. And all of a sudden I just get spammed with phone calls. Like she tries to call me. She's trying to call me. I will not answer. And she's texting me. She's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, come back. I want to hang out. What's wrong? Oh, man. It was so bad. Like, okay, I've definitely been catfished other times, not as extreme, right? And I'm sure you guys have as well. To where this girl, like, you pull up on a date. She's maybe not like the 8 you thought she was going to be, but she was a 7. Or she wasn't the 7, but she was like a 6, 6.5. Nah, this was from 9 to a 4. Like, I kid you not, she was using some other chick's photos or just the greatest technology that hasn't came out yet in order to make you look that attractive. So we're driving away. I legit just blocked her on everything. I'm like, hey, I gotta cut this girl off. So I block her phone number. She keeps calling me. I go back into Tinder. She'd already messaged me a ton on there like, hey, what's wrong with you? Why won't you come hang out with me? I think you're really hot. I'm like, does she not understand? I reported her account for being a catfish too, because I'm sure she's going to do it to other guys as well. I feel really bad because honestly, that was like the worst experience of my life. And looking back on it now, maybe being nice, they were a 5 out of 10, not a 4. But when you're expecting a 9 out of 10 and you pull up to that, she had like no makeup on, was not dressed up, was just hammered. It was the worst experience of my life. On the bright side, I was able to get out of my relationship, which is a blessing. But for my cousin, on the other hand, the girl was pretty pissed at him. I don't know if they ended up talking again or not, the one that he left, but honestly, it was 100% worth it. Being able to tell this story, me and him being able to laugh and look back on it, even though it's the craziest night and it was a terrible time, I was so happy it happened because of the good laughs we got out of it. The question I have for you guys, have you ever been catfished before? What was the worst like a girl's ever catfished you? Like, was she probably an 8 and she ended up being a 6? Because this one was bad. I don't know if any of you guys can beat it. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit a like button and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single week, just like this, or men's self-improvement videos. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.